Okay, in this lesson, we're going to learn a little bit about the second pull and how sometimes the bar can be cast away from our body and get away from us just a little bit too much. Watch as we complete this lift. You can see during the second half of that second pull, the bar tends to get out a little bit in front as a result of a bit of a bump and a lack of pull at that second part. Now, here we get great position taking it off the floor. We get to that below knee position very nicely. Now, once we transition into that second pull, we end up with a great position here for the pocket. However, we'll then see the hips be used a little bit too much and then not enough of an upper body pull to help keep that bar right in close to the center of gravity, which we're going to mark here right off of his heel arch, which is where I like to set the center of gravity line. So you can see that we've gotten the bar in a very good position here. And as we continue, you can see right there how the bar gets thrown and cast away from the hips, away from the body, because there's not a whole lot of pull with the upper body, and also the hips were used instead of forcefully extending the knee as much as you should have. This is also a good drill to use with a light weight as he is, because it will magnify any bumping problem that you have. If you really are driving with your knees and pulling correctly, even with a light weight, it should come straight up. As you can see in that lift, there was a bumping motor pattern where the bar was actually being bumped because of too much opening of the hips at the top of the second pull, as opposed to finishing that second pull by forcefully extending your knees and driving the bar vertically. So you can see with that slow motion analysis that as the bar was coming up, he got back to the pocket, however, continued to straighten and fire through his hips and open his hips up a little too much, and not really get into the position of being vertical in a nice triple extension position, finishing through his knees. So I want to show you a drill that we use to help that. Because what we need to do to get rid of that bump is restore a normal motor pattern using the knees to finish that part of the lift as opposed to the hips, which cast the bar away. So a great way to work on that motor pattern, this is one of the toughest ones to fix, is get into that pocket position, weight on the heel arch, everything engaged, and work on driving through the knees, shrugging, and then pulling. So the bar goes straight up and not opening the hips and casting it out. I never like to use the term open the hips because I think it makes you think of the wrong thing at that point in the lift, when it is especially important that you finish that lift through your knees at that point and not just casting the hips forward. So, a great drill, pocket, high pulls. From this position, drive through your knees and finish your pull. You can then turn that into a muscle snatch, and you can then turn that into a regular snatch. So that drill is really very important to work on changing that motor pattern from hip bumps and casting the bar out to leg drive and bringing the bar vertical. So here we are a month later. We showed Jono a few drills to work on to help keep that bar closer. Let's run the video so you can see the change that he's made in his lift. Now, as you can see, that lift is much closer to his center of gravity and much more vertical, allowing the bar to move straight up and straight down so that he's able to receive it in a good position. And let's just take it through slow motion. We can see nice takeaway off the floor, transition into that second pull, getting back to the pocket, maybe just a touch early, but at least here now, he's extending through his knees right there and pulling upward vertically. There's still a little bit of a tiny bit of a bumping of the bar, if you will, or allowing the bar to get away a tiny bit, but significantly improved based on doing some of those drills.